Okay, x-intercepts, y-intercepts, slope. How to find them. So, let's start first with finding my x-intercept. I'm going to pick one equation first, and using that one equation, I will show all three one step at a time. So here's the equation I'll work with. Let's say I've got something like 12x minus 15y plus 40 equal to 0. So there's the equation I'm going to work with. Let's do my x-intercepts first. So, x-intercepts. In order to find an x-intercept, the value of y has to be 0. Here's the reason why. Your x-intercept is the point that the line is going to cross the x-axis. Here's my x-axis, here's my y-axis. So an x-intercept might be somewhere on this, well, not might be, it will be, somewhere on the x-axis. Let's say right here. If you have an x-intercept at that point right there, the value of y is 0. Anywhere on the x-axis, the value of y is 0, because y goes up and y goes down, but when it's on the x-axis, it is 0. So, if I take 0 and substitute it for y, that will allow me to find my x-intercept. So, that is what I'm going to do. Substitute 0 for y, and then solve. So, 12x minus 15 plus 40 equals 0. I'm going to put in 0 for y. When I substitute in 0 here, this whole thing is going to cancel. All I'm left with is 12x plus 40 equals 0. Now I start solving. I have to get the x by itself. So, minus 40 minus 40 cancels. This gives me 12x equal to negative 40. I still need to get the x by itself. Divide by 12. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So, divide by 12, divide by 12. This is going to give me x equals negative 40 over 12. Now, I am not finished yet. You guys ask me this all the time when you're taking quizzes. Please, don't ask me this again. I'm telling you once, this is the last time. You always reduce fractions. Always, 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 always. Always. Even on Tuesdays. Always reduce your fractions. So, this can be reduced. Both of these can be divided by 4. If I divide by 4, I end up with negative 10 over 3. And since this is an x-intercept, x-intercepts are points on the line. Since it is a point on the line, I simply want to take it and turn it into a mixed number. Negative 3 and 1/3. So my x-intercept is negative 3 and 1/3. Now let's find the y-intercept. To find my y-intercept, there are 2 ways. I'll let you pick which one you think is easy. Well, actually, I'm going to do it the way that I think is easiest, but I'll tell you what both are. The first way would be substitute 0 for x, and then solve for y. You can do that, that's fine. If I was only going to find the y-intercept, that is what I would do. But since I want to find the slope also, you can find the y-intercept and the slope at the exact same time. You do that by writing the equation like this. Y equals mx plus b. If I take this equation and I make it look like this. From here, I can see the slope and the y-intercept at the same time. So that rather than having to do them both individually, I just do it at once. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this equation, make it look like this, so that I can see the slope and the y-intercept all at once. So, I want to take this equation, I'll leave the negative 15y where it's at, negative 15y. But I want to get these two numbers on the other side. So, the first thing I have to do, I'm going to move this down a little lower. Negative 15y. All right. The first thing I need to do is cancel this and cancel this. In order to cancel this on this side, I have to do minus 12x. What I do to this side, I come over here and I do also minus 12x. This cancels. I have to cancel my 40. Minus 40. What I do to this side, I come over here and do minus 40. Those cancel. This leaves me negative 15y equal to, on this side, I have negative 12x minus 40. Got that? I am not finished yet. This has to look like this. I cannot have a number in front of the y. The y must be by itself. So, I have to come over here and get rid of the negative 15. Since the negative 15 is being multiplied by y, you do the opposite. The opposite of multiplication is division. So, I will take this and divide by negative 15. What I do to this, I have to do to the entire side. So I have to divide this by negative 15, and I have to divide this by negative 15. Okay? This gives me y equals negative divided by negative is positive. So don't leave the two negatives. This just becomes positive. This can be reduced, so reduce it. 3 goes into this 4 times. 3 goes into that 5 times. And you still have the x. And then this can be reduced also. Negative divided by negative is positive. I will reduce it first, and then I'll turn it into a mixed number down here. 5 goes into this 8 times. 5 goes into this 3 times. This is 8/3. 3 goes into 8 twice, with 2 left over, and 3 on the bottom. So 4/5 x plus 2 2/3. Now, my slope is the m. My m value is with the x. So my slope equals 4/5. Please notice, do not put the x on this. I'm asking you for the slope right now. The slope is just 4/5, not 4/5 x. Notice again, the slope is in front of the x. The slope is not the x. It's just in front of the x. Okay? So the slope is 4/5. The y-intercept is going to be 2 2/3. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple on the board and let you try them. I'll have a couple with fractions, so that way you can get used to working with those too. So I'll put one on the board. Give me 1 second.